Got a couple different decks we're playing in the leagues since the challenge starts in 55 minutes. We're gonna start off with a league today, and this is a Modern Allies deck that's heavily inspired from my PPTQ RPTQ grinding days before I was even streaming. There was a local like modern grinder. His name was Justin. Shout out Justin, who would always play this deck at the modern PPTQ RPTQs. It was an allies deck that was really built around this card, Halimar Excavator. Whenever this or another allied creature enters, target player mills X, where X is the number of allies you control. It was built around this to some extent. It was also built around Ondu Cleric. Whenever you gain life equals the number of allies, whenever an ally or this enters. And then the idea was you would mill yourself for a bunch, and then you would return all of your allies with either return to the ranks or rally the ancestors, and then you would get a lot of mill triggers to just mill your opponent out. And you kind of just set up for this big turn where you self mill, fill your yard with a ton of allies, return them all, deck your opponent. It was always a really cool deck. He usually did pretty well at these events. Although the power level of this kind of deck has long since passed it by. But we just got a ton of new upgrades for the Allies deck. We're playing 18 new avatar cards in the set. We're playing a couple copies of Earth Kingdom Protectors, 1/1 Vigilance that's sacked to give another ally indestructible. Really nice to have just a 1 mana white creature in your return to the Rex Convoke deck, and also in your Great Divide Guide deck. Great Divide Guide is like I'm really surprised this card is a 2/3. Usually these effects are like a 1/1, but just gives each land and each ally the ability to tap for 1 mana of any color. South Pole Voyager, a card I'm pretty excited for. Whenever this or another creature enters, another ally enters, you gain 1 life, and if it's the second time this ability resolved, you also draw cards. It's nice to have some card advantage. And Earth King's Lieutenant. This is a 1/1 trampler. When it enters, you Thales Lieutenant. You put a counter on each other ally you control, and then whenever another ally enters, you put a counter on this creature. So basically just a Thales Lieutenant with trample, so kind of an upgraded effect. And then Invasion Reinforcements, which is just a 1/1, enters, make another ally. So double trigger Voyager, 2 mana creatures for guide. We also have Had a Free Blade, which is like the champion of the parish ally, just an 0/1. Whenever another ally enters, put a counter on the creature. And then this is also like double triggers for Cleric and Halimar Excavator too. So Guide of Souls Guide of Souls should be an ally. So very very cool deck, very experimental. I feel like on the challenge day, this is usually when I like to play decks like this. I would love if we got kind of pleasantly surprised, and I do think that this formula of like being really in on the return cards, I think this is a formula that I like for a Kindred deck like this, where these decks are very weak to removal, and this kind of says, I don't mind if you're killing my creatures, because eventually I'm going to bring them all back, and I'm going to do a bunch of stuff with it. Let's see. I think so. So we've got that. I also have a mono. I finally finalized my draft of Mono Black K Command Airship. So that is going to be our other deck we may get to today. May get to it tomorrow. We'll see. My problem with the ally deck is that it has 0 interaction. We've got some interaction in the sideboard, but I will say that, being a 0 interaction deck in Modern isn't inherently problematic if you are a very proactive deck. And this deck is pretty proactive. You can Goldfish on turn 4 pretty often. I don't think you have any turn 3 Goldfishes, but you have a lot of turn 4 kills, and Titan has like Besajus, and they're also faster. so maybe if you're a no interaction deck, this is too little no interaction. But I don't think we've really broken it here or anything. But it's not inherently problematic to be a no interaction deck. You just be a proactive deck. You could maybe play Coco. I don't really like that you're not maximizing Coco because you don't have any 3-drops. I did think about playing it. I think for the most part, these are the cards you want to lean into. You can't play too many of these effects. All right, let's keep this on the draw. Let's go to game 2. Not bothering. Got some cyber cards for Titan. Just not bothering today. I'm gonna cut the Earth Kingdom Protectors. I think I'm gonna go down on Return to the Ranks. Probably maybe one more of these effects makes sense to go down on. Let's try being more in on Rally the Ancestors. And I think we could also cut all of the Ondu Clerics if we liked, so maybe we bring some of these back in. Don't need a lot of life gain. We could also potentially bring in like a Prismatic Ending or a Wrath the Skies. I think I'll play like 1 Prismatic Ending and then just get these back in here. And then click submit. So is Wang Shitong worth 50 paper costs, or is it gonna go down? Well, I don't know. I haven't bought a Magic card in about 10 months or something like that. But here, it's like, do you need it for a tournament? Uh, acquire it. If you don't need it for a tournament, don't acquire it. Is kind of where I'm at. Card's probably really good in Commander though, which is also, I imagine, a big part of what's driving the price. All right, we have no sideboard cards. We have a cool hand. Got sideboard cards. We get to keep. Do I keep? I guess I keep second Damping Sphere over Earth King's Lieutenant. We'll try to surveil into land number 3. Deck pretty weak to Storm and Titan, and also not too weak to its own Damping Sphere like a lot of decks you could play. So I figured it was a good place to split the difference here. Would have been a great card to have in our opening hand here, but we're just going to graveyard it. Opponent might end up Besageing a Damping Sphere and giving me my extra land for Ashiok. Notably, if they have Besage in their hand, they have to Besage you now because they're going to lose the green mana. Maybe they would just make a construct here. Stock up. We're cooked. I imagine wanted. Yeah. Ashiok supporting the mill plan's fun. I imagine wanted seeing playing Legacy. I would imagine, yeah. The next iteration will be Ally Mill. This is Ally Mill. the win condition is milling your opponent. So we don't draw the land number 3. I think I should probably play the second sphere. Just try to really lock this game down. They get a Vexing Bauble. Doesn't have a lot of effect against me, but they can just cycle it. They do just cycle it. Plays a second Amulet. Plays a Besageyu. Can't play another spell. Does have a Grazer or an Amulet in their hand. Ooh, a Great Divide Guide. So maybe, I could go end of turn ally, Invasion Reinforcements, play Great Divide Guide. On their turn, play another Invasion Reinforcements. If I do that, I'm missing out on a lot of mill triggers for the Excavator. In fact, I wonder if I'm just supposed to start milling them all natural this game. I could kind of see that actually being the move, since we have the game pretty locked up. Or, we got 2 Damping Spheres in play. I don't know how locked up that is. Let's go to mill me for the first one. We mill or rally the ancestors, so I don't know if we get kind of punished, because if we had drawn that, then we would have much rather. We would much rather draw that than start milling ourselves for a ton. I guess if I draw a land, I can go Divide Guide, and then next turn, on their turn, Invasion Reinforcements. They have an Otawara. And a Grazer. Okay, we draw a Return to the Ring, so we are going to be milling ourselves. I'm going to be Invasion Reinforcing this turn cycle. No real reason to do it main phase that I can tell. Shaft is going to start playing this non-stop. Who's Shaft? Right, looks like they're going to be able to cast a Titan here. The mill guy? Oh, that guy. Haste in the Titan. Maybe we get a Damping Sphere Besageud. Oh, I guess they can't Besageud Damping Sphere here, right? Oh, they can. They can float the green mana off the Besageud, of course. So they get 2 basic for us. That's interesting. Would not have expected that to be the call. All right, target me. Target me. Build another Excavator and a Great Divide Guide. We draw a land. So let me go play a guide. Oh. Well, maybe it's better to go Invasion Reinforcements, because I go Reinforcements, and then I'll have 5 allies in play, which I'll be milling myself for 10. Then my next spell will cost 2 more. So I'll have 1 mana, 5 allies. So this Return to the Ranks that would usually be X equals 4 will only be X equals 2. So that seems like that's not going to be enough. So let's go ahead and just play a guide this turn, and then an Invasion Reinforcements on our opponent's turn. with the intention of winning the game the turn after. I could also, okay, I can't play Ashiok. I could have played Ashiok instead, but I think I'm just going to bank on my double Damping Sphere buying me one more turn for me to win the game the following turn with Return to the Rings. Is there an argument to mill in response to the Titan ETB or not? I think with the Return to the Rings in our hand, I think it's fine to just hope that our Damping Spheres hold for another turn, and try and this if that happens, this Return to the Rings should almost definitely win us the game. Even if we get Bajuka bogged right now. So they get a Urza's Cave and they get a Teleria West. They're floating 4 blue mana. Presumably they're going to sack the Urza's Cave. No, they just let it happen. Let's take 6. Splash, thank you for 37. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, we are also playing Rally the Ancestors. I guess this deck's name is Rally Allies, Ally Rally, something like that. All right, so this is 3 colorless mana for them. They pick up the Boseiju, and they go to Instep. So we are going to mill ourselves. A lot of allies. Although only one more Halimar Excavator. Although here's a Halimar Excavator. So we should be able to go. It's probably better to play Excavator first, right? I guess maybe that's just not the case because that's minus 4 allies to get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So you can get 7. So go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just like old times, huh? Shooken with the tier 3 for 36 months. Thank you so much. Okay, we got some triggers to put on the stack. We want the we technically want the extra ally to trigger first. Can I not, I guess I can't save the targets. Okay, and save targets. I don't see a yield to all button. Is it right trick? Yield to all triggers. So they can build for like 900 or something like that. That's the deck. Fizzle with the 42 months. Thank you. Welcome back. On the draw for game 3. I could see maybe thinking how to flee this Free Blade card is like completely irrelevant against the maybe Earth King's Lieutenant is worse just because it's 2 mana. 2 mana care about stats is worse than 1 mana care about stats. And then we could do something like play like the rest of the Wraths another ending, maybe 2 Wraths 3 ending. 2/2 and 1 Lieutenant, 2/2 and 1 Earth King. Let's do 1 Earth King. I think we're maybe a little low on allies. Was this not quite risky with the cave untapped there? I guess we could have just got bogged. Although it's game 1. Or no, it was not game 1, it was game 2. Yeah, maybe it was risky. Maybe we shouldn't have done it. We couldn't have really... I don't know. Maybe we could have gotten Ashiok in to still win. Alright, turn 1 Grazer. This deck seems great for future evolution, maybe a more mid-rangey ally post-board plan for against certain matchups. I mean, possibly, although I'll say for the most part, like, your mid-range ally plan ain't beating any mid-range deck, is kind of my impression. I would love to be wrong about that. Yeah, I forgot that we conceded to a turn 1 Grazer. Kind of better than Champion because it enters as a 1/2/0. Obviously, take this up. Cavern of Souls. Is there any 2-drop I would see right now that I would try to... I guess I couldn't return to the Rank City 2-drop off of a Surveil anyways. Definitely getting pretty flooded here. No Besage's nice. Could get a Besage off the cave maybe and then bounce it and Besage me. Okay, we don't need another one of these for sure. Halimar Excavator, definitely the best card to find. Another mana source is tough. Kind of feel like this is a keep and lose or graveyard and lose kind of card. Seems like we just are gonna give them infinite turns if we keep that. Let's not give them infinite turns. They didn't Urza's Cave for a Besage end of turn. Okay, so we're gonna be holding that for whenever we find our mill card, I guess. And if we find, I think we'll be pretty likely to just win the game. Once we find our mill card. Although my opponent is maybe just gonna be able to cast a Titan this turn. Maybe just gonna be able to cast a Grazer, huh? Interesting. Okay, so I guess we'll instead go South Pole Voyager, and then we'll go Invasion Reinforcements, so that we get to draw a card. Yield to all button coming in clutch here. Turn 6, had a free blade, getting big. Just draw Fountain. So they main phase Urza's Cave. I feel like this is going to be for a Beseju. I'm wrong. It's for a Teleria West. Then they cast a stock up. Interesting. It's also interesting they didn't just chump block the 4/5. Maybe we overboarded. I don't know. Getting in. I guess seems like they're not chump block paid off. Titan, all natural, turn 8. Two pretty low quality draws on both sides of the field here. We draw again. Our mill ally is going to be like pretty close to an instant win with this many allies in play, but we got to draw it. I guess we not for sure. Well, that's not a good top deck. I guess we now have maybe the luxury of double blocking the Titan so we can get another South Pole Voyager trigger. No room for Coco. I mean, what would you cut? Coco's not it's not really easy to cast unless you have the guide in play. So they are gonna haste the other Titan. Am I gonna Wrath the Skies X equals 6? I guess I will if I draw a land. Wouldn't that be the funniest way to win a game against Titan? Wrath the Skies X equals 6 on a board like this. Like, if they get another Saga, it's kind of good. Or get 2 more Sagas here. Seems like they might. They get a Shifting Woodland, and they get a Mirror Pool. Then they get they return a Beseju to their hand. Makes sense. Definitely want all these in the yard. Best top deck is still the mill ally, of course, by a pretty big amount. Yeah, I do think we're rooting for a land. Wrath X equals 6 is like just a bit too funny here. Now we're dead through a Wrath. Are we? So I think we start off with Wrath X equals 0. I'm gonna lose this ally. Kill the Sagas. Although maybe it was better to tap the token. Get to draw a card. Okay, we finally found an excavator. And the turn that we found it here, we are unfortunately a mana short of, or 2 mana short of being able to rally the ancestors. So let's see if this Damping Sphere holds us for a turn. It probably won't. We know our opponent has a Boseiju in their hand. I guess we could maybe mill them for 5 instead of milling us. I guess milling them for 5 doesn't seem like it does anything because they have Shifting Woodland in play. The clone might not be bad. The clone ally? The problem with the clone ally is when you return everything, it doesn't copy anything you returned. Although now that my opponent's already attacked, right? I don't really die once they've already attacked, do I? Let me see what they bounce with this here. I'm probably blocking with this. They returned the Otawara. Yeah, Phantasmal Image is like almost just strictly better. They can't win that because they've attacked, right? They can't win this turn. They're just holding up the Otawara. Although they may also be holding up Bojuka Bog. So I guess the plan is going to be hopefully draw an ally when I go rally X equals 2. Although maybe I could... do I just have lethal in the yard? They have 32 cards in their deck. Oh, wow. Okay, well, now this is easy. We get to go Ashiok, and then they have to Bojuka Bog in response. Oh, they have Otawara. They don't actually have to Bojuka Bog in response, do they? We're going to mill ourselves. Someone with a 35 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I mill another Halimar Excavator. So it looks like to me, in response to Otawara, I get to rally the ancestors and win. Let's go and do that. Oh, they have Purge. Okay. So now I go rally, and then what's nice about that, I guess, is they go Otawara in response, then they Urza's Cave. See, it seems like I'm not really gonna get a much better option than this, but not ever seen Purge out of their deck. So maybe they just didn't have the Bojuka Bog. They didn't have it last game. I think we have to cast it here. Okay, they do have it. What a bummer. I think how many returns or rallies do we have left in the deck? We have 0 more rallies, and we have 2 more returns. That's a problem. Does Wrath save us? I don't know. I also now have to block with the Halimar Excavator, which is a bit frustrating. I guess, yeah, we can draw Wrath the Skies to clear the board. And then Return to the Ranks would mill them for 16. Ashiok would mill them for another 4. So actually, if they do just get 4 lands here, they deck. It's kind of funny. If we draw Return to the Ranks, they don't get the extra lands. Also kind of funny. So I take 9 this way. I think I'll keep this for the Return to the Ranks. Do you think making Phoenix Fleet deck more counterspell resilient with something like Woodlands can be good? Could be. I will be soon, I'm sure, playing a Rumble Woodlands deck, but it's just a little bit easier said than done, or maybe that's not the case. It's just like finding the best. There's like 10 shells you could play, and I don't really know which one of them's the best. But we'll be playing them soon. So Wrath the Skies, Return to the Ranks. I guess another South Pole Voyager would also let me. It would also let me draw a card off the, or not South Pole Voyager, the one that makes 2 allies, the Intruder Alarm. Will let me draw a card off this South Pole Voyager that's in play. Great Divide Guide not saving us. Brutal Celestial Purge. Being like, I may be getting kind of sick, so that is subject to change. Okay, cool looking hand. Game 1 was, says 1 minute conceded. I guess it might have been a minute with mulligans. I wanted to see if it would say 0 minutes. So on the play against Boros, maybe just Guy. Second South Pole Voyager. So we're going to go Cavern on Ally, which is fun. So next turn I can go play a Voyager, Violin a Voyager. I only get to draw 1 card with that outcome. I think that's going to be okay. We'll play the Ondu Cleric here. And then blocking with the Return to the Ranks in our hand is really nice. So passing with just mana up is kind of interesting. Draw Free Blade. I guess we'll make our Voyager uncounterable. All right, they seem pretty F6. I'm just gonna Vial this in. Okay, we don't draw the land for the free blade, which would have been extra nice also because we would have drawn an extra card off the Voyager. Next turn, if we don't draw anything, we can go just cast a free blade and then Return to the Ranks the Cleric. Looks like they are just Guy, not Boros. If you iterate on this deck, I'm thinking you could cut Great Divide Died or the Vials for more interaction. I guess, you're not the first person today to bring up interaction in this deck. I don't really get why we're that interested in playing interaction and why we what interaction could you play? Why do you think that interaction would make this deck better than just being more an all proactive deck? These are the questions I need answered because right now I don't really see the vision, but I might be missing something. Okay, the Flage of Voyager. So my Vial is going to come back and I'm going to get to Vial in the Free Blade and then I can Return to the Ranks both of these. Could also play another. I could play South Pole Voyager. Then, yeah, let's do this. If I draw a land off of either of these, then I get to bring both of these back anyways. And then maybe my return just is even better. Did not draw a land. I guess I'm going to leave back both 2/2s to block Ophelia. Really happy to draw Invasion Reinforcements, though, because it's going to be so good with the Return to the Ranks. It seems like they're actually Boros. Yeah, they have the Marsh Flats, so like Boros with Felia. I have been thinking that Boros with Felia with Pinnacle Emissary has been kind of an interesting angle for Boros that I haven't seen, so kind of cool. Although they are playing Marsh Flats, but they're also playing Quantum Brittler, so they are just Guy. Just because Boros and Ragavan are power support profile, Pending main would help both. Hedges game 1 against Titan. I don't know, Pending is just not that good against Titan. It's like, I don't know. You could play, Prismatic Ending is a good answer for what interaction you play, you know. It is possible you could play some more interaction. I agree the speed of this deck is a problem. I'm not necessarily feeling like we broke it or anything like that, but I am interested to just explore and see how good this deck is, you know. And then, you know, maybe other cards get printed later, see how strong it is. Maybe there's some innovation, but I just think like YOLO main decking Prismatic Ending doesn't really seem like it's gonna be where we need to be. Want to double block, play around removal spell. I like to see Unstable Amulet. They're also playing Guide of Souls, so they're, you know, a blend of Jeskai Blink and Energy, it seems. White March might be okay option. I mean, I'm usually not a big fan of that card, to be honest, but you know, everything's on the table. So let's see what we draw off the South Pole Voyager. I think, you know, let's enjoy the ride here and see how it goes. Yeah, especially in your first draft, just want to be proactive. I guess I was thinking I would want to play another one drop. Yeah, I think I still would rather play a one drop. We have two more draws here. Think we get to attack for 4 maybe, but ranks being a 0 mana divination gain 4. Yeah, I you know what's funny about modern is like you don't even think of that. Oh, that we also get we're getting a lot more than 4 life, by the way. We're getting like 40 life, but we also get the creatures in play. The yield to all button coming in very clutch at a very opportune time, right in time for this deck. Just need a yes to all button. I guess you could do that. But it says this Flage has some work to do. We do find another one drop. All right, we're at 61. Good luck, opponent. Just thinking both Vial and Great Divide are basically effectively ramp, and also feel like bad top decks late. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll say this: like, I want to see how good Great Divide Guide is too. Like, it's a new card. It's like being a 2/3 is pretty interesting on it. It might end up this might be a build where I agree, you might not need the mana at all. Although like it is, I think, really cool with Rally the Ancestors specifically being able to like play guide and rally in the same turn. I think that could come up a lot. We're figuring it out. We get pinged by the Unstable Amulet. Seems kind of good. Maybe the deck slide on Graveyard Enablers. Yeah, I mean, besides the mill one, like there really isn't another. Like you could play Crab maybe. Could play Crab. Could also like just try to play more ways to find your good enabler. Okay, let's go ahead and mill here. It would be really nice to mill another ally for the return to the ranks. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, we'll go Vial this in. Gain a lot of life. I guess let me go ahead and just start saying always yes, always yield. Or yeah, always yield. Oh, I wish you can't always yes unless the thing's all the time. It's kind of weird. Like, why isn't this giving me an always yes, but why is this giving me an always yes? No. Classic Magic Online. Okay, so let's return 1, 2. We're going to draw 3 cards, so I'm going to tap my creatures instead of my mana. Let's tap 1, 2, 3, 4. We are going to be gaining roughly infinite life. Yield to all. Draw 3 cards. Or 2 cards. I guess we already drew off the other one. And we kind of brick. Am I leaving this back to block Flage? I don't think so, because I think I'm kind of happy chump blocking the Flage so I can rally the Ancestors, maybe. At a cool 95 life. Take 1. Down to 94. So I guess they're going to fly the Flage. Okay, love that they're killing any of my allies here. because that means I get to rally. I get to rally for enough to just draw 3 more cards. And they use their energy so they can no longer fly Flage. They're killing South Pole Voyager. So if I do think I want to block with the Earth King Lieutenant, so I get this trigger again. I can't block with the Great Divide Guide. I guess I could block with it, and then I could just vial this one in. I think that seems okay. I think I'd probably rather just keep this in hand, so I could maybe draw another card next turn. Although I'm probably gonna have enough allies. Yeah, let's just jump here. This seems okay. And then we get to go rally the ancestors, X equals 2. And then this will draw us 3 cards and put a counter on all of our creatures and gain us another infinite life. Let me go right trick. Okay, they just concede. Well, I feel like this is looking kind of good. At least kind of. It seems like our plan is also maybe we just don't even care about like exiling Flage from the graveyard. They're playing Guide Pride. I feel like let's just see if our plan A is just really naturally good against them. Did they show us a blue card? They showed us a Riddler, yeah. They exiled one to the Amulet. Challenge starting about 10 minutes, so Flu just win game 2. I guess I'm gonna go pee real quick. Yeah, I agree. Always a good sign when your creature deck like this speeds up on these kind of decks. Which I do feel like is getting easier and easier to do, thankfully. Magic Online. I'm gonna bravely click the screen. Okay. Pretty ham. You know what blocks Ocelot Pride pretty well? Had a Free Blade. We are going to be playing the Vial turn 1 though, of course. So it could be kind of cool to Vial in the Free Blade and then try to block the Pride. If they discharge, we get to grow it to 3/4 at instant speed. Although I guess the problem with that is the whole first strike situation. I'm just going to get a basic Plains. I'm going to play the South Pole Voyager. Try to gain an extra card here. Though it kind of seems like they've got a discharge. All right. I'm gonna, we'll let them discharge this. I think we're probably gonna be unable to avoid that. Just guys shouldn't have the numbers it has, frankly, same as Murktide. Yeah, I mean, people just always love to play these kind of decks. I usually find this to be kind of a feature, not a bug. People like to play these kind of decks, and like, because it's a game, and you can exploit that sometimes, and sometimes you can't. I suppose I'd like to go Violin the Excavator, mill myself for 1. Play a Divide Guide, mill myself for another one. We did mill a Reinforcements, and then let's see if we can find a return spell. Just kind of graveyarding any non-return spell here. Both of these creatures block Ocelot Pride nicely. They could have Solitude White card fetch land, I guess, if they were wanting to Flage. Ooh, okay, that's fine. It is nice that we will like mostly be able to ignore this if we draw a return or a rally here. Let's go ahead and take the hit. South Pole Voyager would be nice too. Wouldn't hate another Ondu Cleric. A lot of cats. All right, can we even live? I'm gonna respond to this trigger with invasion reinforcements here. 13, 18, 23. Got one card in their hand. I think we're alive. This is going to be 3, 6, 11, 12, 13, 17. 17 plus 8 is unfortunately 25. We can do a little bit of blocking if they don't have a land for the Flage. I guess they can't even escape the Flage. Couldn't we have blocked one of the Pride's Lost attack? Well, it would have flipped the Ajani, which I think would have been probably worse than just letting the connection happen. Either way, we're trying to survive till we draw a return effect. There's not really any other dynamic at play here. All right, so my opponent has calculated that they can attack like this and still force a block. They're right. Dead to a red permanent, which doesn't seem very likely they will have. Guess it could be a Ragavan. Dead to a Flage. Dead to a Flage, right. Also a red permanent, I guess. Although not for a Johnny. All right, game 3 on the play for game 3. The challenge is starting in 2 minutes, but I'm having fun this match. I want to try to finish it off. I think I'm going to just run back this plan and try to be proactive especially since we only have 2 minutes before the challenge is starting. Double check that I've got the right deck in the challenge. I did already double check. We're just going to triple check real quick. Yeah. Good to go. Certainly a hand I'm interested in trying. Love having the return to the ranks. Opponent's on a multi-6. Could we have blocked the 2/1s and lived to the Flage there? Yeah, I guess so. Had a top deck, I suppose. All right, better late than never. Aether Vial. I'm going to go ahead and play this on turn 2 instead of playing a 2-drop. Second guide, getting in for 1. No pride. Whatever I play is going to die here. I think that should probably be Ondu Cleric. They could have denied 1 life if they had killed in response to the trigger. I guess they might just not kill the Ondu Cleric, I guess. That should be fine. A land could be a good draw, so I could go like cast Great Divide Guide, cast a Voyager, Violent a Voyager. I guess we'd Violent Voyager first. They're tapping out, so it's not too bad. They've got 5 energy, 4 cards in hand. One of them is a tapped Hallowed Fountain. They're going to be getting in for 4 here, I imagine. Oh, weird to not attack with the guide. I guess I've got the Aether Vial for free blade up, huh? Although that would I guess I could have double blocked, sure. We draw Earth Kingdom Protectors, so we could go. Yeah, I think it's just always going to be Voyager. Gain 3 life. Guide, gain 4 life, draw a card. And then Protectors. Gain 5 life. I'm going to go ahead and take a peek at my hand of the challenge, which we have bled into in this match. Oh. Oh, no, we need 5 players. Ah, damn it. Chat, I should have been paying more close attention. Join the challenge. We need 5 players. Don't let it die. Hopefully. I guess the Thanksgiving gamers still out. Although they may also do what they did last time and just turn it into a 32. That might be okay. But 5 gamers. Looks like we got 64 more. Please. Oh, sorry. I should have saved it, I think. Although honestly with the return to the ranks in the yard, I'm not even so sure. I should have. Should be okay. 500 person RCQ sealed. Ah, that might be it too. Can I join with Boris Dog? Join with anything. I draw a Cavern of Souls. Let's go on a voyage. We could return to the ranks the guide if we wanted to keep dumping our hand here. I guess one thing that would be really nice about that is we could invasion reinforcements on my opponent's turn to draw 3 cards and gain infinite life. So that seems worth. Still need 4 gamers. Hopefully some of y'all can pop in. I know it's the very last minute. I should have been pushing earlier. So wasn't... Forgot that challenges weren't firing. Okay, probably a good time to go ahead and cast the invasion reinforcements, gain a ton of life, draw 3 cards. Grow our free blade, I guess. Any reason why no shapeshifter? When you return to the ranks or rally, like you can't have it copy as anything you return. So it seems like that's not very effective. The card's also like not really much different from a phantasmal image. $78. 3 more gamers, chatters. Yeah, no one's left, thankfully. 3 more for the modern challenge. Come battle against your friend, Aspiring Spike. Dude, do you think Quantum Riddler can keep up with the card advantage of South Pole Warriors? What is this card? South Pole Voyager. Being at 78 life here is so sick. 2 more, 2 more. We should win once we draw our mill ally too. All right, so we have 3 Voyagers in play to give us 3 more cards if we don't find one of our draw step. The challenge fire! Thank you, chatters! I'm still playing this. Give me just a second to hopefully we just draw one of the mill allies here and win the game. If not, I'm gonna take a look at my hand over here. But if I draw the mill ally, then we're gonna... Okay, we didn't draw it. Although we could still surveil into the yard. Since we have 2 returns and lots of mana with the guide here. Oh, we did mill it. Okay, cool. So now we get to go return here. This should almost definitely win the game. Yield to all. Not even looking at what I milled. It's probably already enough, but we might as well just go ahead and do the whole thing here. Show you what allies are capable of. Imagine they have imagine I deck myself and they have Emrakul here. Alright, I guess I'll just keep 12 cards in my deck then. Yield to all. We're hitting 203 life before we gain literally 1,000 or so. Can I do this many? I think I can. Oh no, I can't. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can get 8. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. X is 8. That's 9. Ah! I want to do... I really shouldn't be greedy like this, but like, can you really blame me? I've wanted to play this allies build for like literal years, and then it actually seems to be working. I'm so hyped. Okay, we won the diorama. Clicking yes over here. Looks like I have a keep. I need to see my 7th card. Okay, keep. All right. So we won 1 in the league. Allies is looking better than I expected it to. Right, so we're one with allies. We just stomped a kind of hybrid Jeskai Boros build, which is pretty promising. I guess we're going to put back the Lush Portico here. Interesting hand we've got. Gained like literally thousands of life last game, and then also milled them out. Maybe prowess. Pretty good chance I'm like somewhat interested in just surveilling. If I like draw another mana source, we're kind of looking for specific stuff. We'll see what we draw. If I draw like a South Pole Voyager, I'm gonna just draw a card here. Yeah, let's play a little bit slower and surveil. Bought some Boros with Holly because I like her a lot. The Solitude Instance package with Rag seems nice. I agree. I think that there could be like a Felia, Starfield Shepherd, Holly, build of Boros. Is this the worst prowess draw of all time, maybe? They almost definitely got some removal. Let me see what we're drawing. That one could actually be okay here. All right, I'm gonna play this a bit weird. I'm gonna go ahead and take this up to 2. Then I'm gonna play the free blade in a way that they're just not gonna be able to kill it with a bolt. So do the old Thalia's Lieutenant trick, I suppose. So this trigger on the stack. And then in response to this trigger, we'll cast the invasion reinforcements. And this way, the Earth King's Lieutenant will be a 3/3, and the reinforcements will be 2 2/2s, and this will be like a 5/6. So my opponent has tapped the Fiery Islet, and then they went to combat. I think they misclicked there. But they misclicked really, it'd be very hard to misclick in that spot where you have the floating mana. Yeah, the Allies deck has looked pretty good. It's been much better than I expected it to look. We did lose like a close one to Titan. It's only our 3rd match, but so far I've been pleasantly surprised. Yeah, I think we're just going to get aggro. We could hold these for more ally triggers, which I think would make sense a lot of the time. But against an opponent who's stumbling so hard, even just getting Earth King's Lieutenant giant or bigger makes a lot of sense. But they're just, it's going to be so tough for them to win against this. Obviously, they made a really brutal misclick that's probably costing them this game for sure. Would have been kind of an interesting game otherwise. But this isn't lethal now, is it? This is 14 plus 4. Oh, that is lethal. Wow. I didn't think it was. Okay. So we are up a game against Prowess because they misclicked, probably. Let's go ahead and... I'm interested in these 8 cards in the matchup. Or 7 cards. I'm not really interested in the Wrath, but I'm interested in the Endings, the Purges, and the Sanctifiers. So we could maybe think about cutting the Halimar Excavator stuff, right? Where our opponent's going to be... They're going to be killing our stuff really aggressively. And... It's like, do we want to be self-milling for the combo? Are we just going to use the stuff as value return? Like, is Ondu Cleric going to gain us enough life? I actually think I'm saying it out loud, and that doesn't seem like a really good plan to me. I think I'm going to cut the Great Divide Guides, which are pretty bad against red removal, cleaning stuff up. And I think we'll probably trim, like, 1 Rally the Ancestors, but I still want access to 1. And then... kind of liking all the other cards. Maybe this is too much sideboarding. Maybe the Purge is like kind of high on the curve. Although Purge getting show off at instant speed does seem really nice. Kind of hard to not play all these cards. Maybe the Sanctifiers aren't as important as I think. They are like... Sanctifier is actually a lot worse against Prowess because of the Steel Cutters and the show offs. Maybe we need to rethink these a little bit. I think I'm just gonna play the removal over the guy. It feels like the Sanctifiers actually aren't really helping the plan as much as I would think. All right, I really like having double South Pole Voyager in this matchup. Let's go ahead and keep, despite maybe being a little slow and painful on the draw. What I say to someone who wants to pursue pro Magic the Gathering full time in 2025? I would say that your ability to become someone who sustains themselves as a career just from playing tournaments and just from winning tournaments it's basically non-existent. I would say that as a career path died when they got rid of like the gold, silver, platinum tier of play. I think that is not in any way a reasonable plan for your life, and I would really encourage you to not do that. You can get by establishing yourself as a coach, as a content creator, as a writer, vlogger, streamer. Like you need to supplement your income in one of these ways. You are not going to be able to survive off of tournament winnings and pro player rewards like you used to be able to 10 years ago. And then you also need to be very good, and having a backup plan is nice because it's a very competitive field too, of course. But I do encourage you to try if this is something that you want to do, is make your life, get paid from playing Magic. You need to. I would encourage you to give it a try, but I would not encourage you to try to do so just being a pro Magic grinder. I would say I think there might actually be zero players. There's got to be zero players who just are, I am a professional Magic player with no supplementary like content or anything. This Allied deck's so funny. I know it's been pretty good so far though. Long time player returning. Why did they get rid of the pro circuit? It's a long conversation, probably longer than I would necessarily like to have at the moment. But I was in a position where I was bronze. I was 3 points away from silver with 9 months left to go. And so if I got, it would have been really nice for me to get those 3 pro points, which is another pro tour qualification, no matter what. And then if I had a good finish at that pro tour, I had a really, really good chance of making gold that season and then becoming like a professional Magic player. And that was my goal. And I was really excited. And then like 2 weeks after I was in that position, Wizards announced they were getting rid of the pro point system. And I was devastated. I was absolutely devastated. I stopped playing Magic for a little bit, and then I decided to either give up playing Magic or start streaming, and I started streaming, and that's how we're here today. But it's money is the short answer, I suppose, as it's always the long answer too. You know what? I'm actually gonna be a little tricky. I'm gonna play South Pole. I'm gonna vial in South Pole Voyager, then pass. Because my opponent might think that they're clear to lightning bolt the Voyager end of turn, and then I can invasion reinforcements to draw my card. Goji tier 1 for 6 months in advance. Thank you so much. And I'm very, of course, happy to have been on this journey with y'all. It's been very fun, but I'm also very lucky to be in this position. Like I got into it at a really good time with MH1 starting. It's been a really crazy journey. But I'm a big believer in, this is so corny, but I'm a big believer in trying to achieve your dreams, and it's not even really all about, or even mostly about, actually accomplishing your dreams, but it's a lot of like dream pursuing is just seeing what will happen. Like a lot of it is hitting the wall and then seeing if it's something you actually want to continue instead of just wondering what if the rest of your life. I think it's, if you're in a position where you don't have people relying on you, like I was lucky enough to be in, I think it's really, really a special thing to try to do those things you've always wanted to do. And that's part of the reason why I'm also working on my own game and working on the novel, is that I'm very into trying. All right, they got a lava dart here. So if they end up killing both of my reinforcements, we could have a really good turn with this return to the ranks next turn, maybe. Although they don't have the mana to dart, it seems. Seems like they have a mutagenic growth, maybe? Maybe they have 2 mutagenic growths and they're seeing if I die, but they didn't get one off of the iteration. Why Return to the Rinks of Raise to the Past? You can get a lot of creatures with this deck with Return to the Rinks. Raise only gets 3 things, right? Also, Return is like 0 mana a lot of the time. Raise is 3 mana, assuming I'm thinking of the right card. Like, Return to the Rinks is better than Rally the Ancestors in this deck for the most part, although you do, like, Rally can sometimes help you combo in situations you can't with Return. They do have a mutagenic growth. For a 4 mana, return everything. Yeah, that's just the Convoke is just a big deal. I was thinking of a different card. Yeah, 4 mana is kind of tough with the 19 lands, but might be better than Rally. Might be better than Rally. It's the same amount of mana, but not instant speed. But you get to keep the stuff, so I don't know. Ally Encampment seems strong. The problem with Ally Encampment is it's really bad with these. Like, you kind of just need your lands to actually tap for white mana. This is my opponent just taking a long time to count to. I guess they were maybe trying to, like, mill over a Lava Dart to kill me. If their last card is Mutagenic Growth, and it took them this long to count, that'd be kind of sad, but whatever. Card with the 5 months. Any thoughts on Team Wreck with Wang Shitong? I'd like to get around to it. I'm not like that excited about it being like a bad Sphinx's revelation though. But it's possible we play a version. I keep also just never top decking one Shitong in the late game, it seems. Okay, I'm at 4 after I don't know, like, do they have something else in their hand? Like, how are they taking this long to make a decision if they have nothing? I always wonder that to myself. All right, so keep this on 2, of course. We draw a Windswept Heath. Let's go ahead and return to the ranks the Voyager first. We're getting a lot more life. But 0 mana. After a while now, what are my thoughts on Juan? Juan is a good modern card. It has performed less good than I expected it to. I think that I've liked it a lot in this Dimir deck specifically. It's definitely a card that I'd like to find the best home for. It might just be Dimir. I have a couple of other kind of weird ways we could play it that I'm kind of interested in exploring too. But it's still a card that I like. I know a lot of people seem to kind of have even just completely given up on it, but I'm not really very close to being there yet. For me, it just takes so long to give up on a card too. Like, I think it's not even been 2 weeks that these cards have been out. I still like don't have a clear picture of stuff, and I usually feel like if I don't have a clear picture, I don't usually trust general public sentiment because I'm here doing this as a full-time thing. But I also, to me, it feels like I'm so much slower to make opinions than other people. It's kind of weird. Was the Jeskai 1 build with 8 wildfires any good? It was kind of okay, yeah. Like, we only played like a couple leagues, and like I think like there was I think Bolt was bad, and I think Redirect Lightning was bad, and I'm kind of interested in maybe just playing the same deck with Galvanic Discharges. I'm interested also, like, what's nice about that deck is you don't have to play Field of Ruin, so your mana can all just be nice and untapped, or I guess not untapped, but casting all your colors, which is kind of nice. But I keep like rebuilding that deck in really weird ways. Like, I keep building it as like with Ragavan DRC, I keep building it more control. I'm just kind of all over the place with it, so I guess we keep this. So I'm trying to figure it out. So they do get to draw a card, so maybe they could have some interaction here. Let's start off by vialing in the Excavator, milling ourselves for 7. Gain 2. We mill an Ondu Cleric and only an Ondu Cleric. A little bit unlucky. That being said, we could draw a land off of one of our South Pole Voyagers here, and then we get to mill for a bunch too, and then maybe the Rally the Ancestors is going to get here. Also, the Ondu Cleric is going to gain us like 10 life, counting the Voyagers. There's another Excavator. We did draw the land. What do we mill? We milled another Voyager. We milled an Evasion Reinforcements, Earth King. Is this enough to mill for 33? It's pretty close. So this is like easily enough, actually. It's also just like we're gonna gain enough life that even if this isn't enough, it'll be enough. Siege Rhino, thank you for the raid. Hope everybody's doing well today. We're 0-1 in the challenge. We're about to be 2-0 in this league with clerics. Yeah, there's just way more than enough. Stack triggers automatically. Did they take that away? Look, it's here. It's enabled. It just never works, does it? Is there like a button I can press? Does anybody know? Allies, not clerics. It is allies, yeah. Did I say clerics? We do have Ondu Cleric here. It only works if they're all the same, which is not helpful, I see. Well, you know. I'm just happy to be here, milling them for a ton, gaining hundreds of life here. Okay, and then these get stacked automatically. So I guess you start clicking the one you have the least of, and then the one that you have the most of happens. Although we're getting more triggers here as our invasion reinforcements come down. Oh yeah, we have an invasion reinforcements triggered last. All right, they had no cards left in their deck. Oh man, so cool. Playing this a challenge would have been so cool. I mean, we could maybe play like the Monday challenge. We are 2-0 in our league with allies. We like this match we lost was really close. Round 2 of the challenge is about to start, but allied deck looking pretty good. Pretty good. Not really liking this archive, but I think I'll go ahead and keep this on the draw. It's pretty close. I like seeing another basic mountain. We've been doing pretty good against basic mountain decks so far. Looking for land. Probably graveyard anything. But maybe I keep it an Aether Vial. Maybe not too. I guess that's kind of a land. The more I think about, you never cast Rally for less than X equals 2. Anyways, raise the pass seems better in the case. It could be. I'll say that instant versus sorcery is definitely a thing. But obviously permanently staying in play is also a pretty important thing. So I don't know. Definitely could be feeling a little scared of bombardment. I think I'm going to be going for invasion reinforcements into Great Divine Guide. Opponent just kept a no white source hand. Probably has a discharge. I'm also rinsing the other deck, but I think I would like to play another league with allies after this. It's been just so fresh too. No, we lost to Boros twice. You know, that's the way she goes, Bubs. You know, possibly correct to be more in on Ondu Cleric this game. Yeah, I thought about Unsettled Mariner. If we end up just being really good against these decks, I don't think we really need to worry about it too much. But certainly could be an option. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go in on the Ondu Cleric this game, assuming that they don't like kill an invasion reinforcements in response. But we also wouldn't be too upset if they did that. Yeah, Mariner's good against bombardment, which is obviously a problemo. So they have another discharge, which makes sense. We gain only 3 life. But we are also, of course, not upset at all if my opponent's going to be just killing all my creatures with me having the Return to the Ranks and the Rally in my hand. I don't know if I want to fire one off next turn. It seems like it could be good. Seems like I should go for it this turn. I just don't know if I want to play the Earth King's Lieutenant first or not. Seems like I want to play it after, so I can have everything be just kind of bombardment proof, right? Which means going 1, 2... Let's go ahead and tap like this. Yield to all. So we're at a cool, what, 33 life? Big board, opponent's stumbling harder than we've seen almost. I don't know if we've ever seen just Mountain, Arena of Glory, 2 discharge bombardment as the keep. But just we are so good against removal that I just don't know that Mariner is a good include. I did have it in my like draft at one point. Yeah, I had Tuk in one of my piles too. It feels like we probably have a naturally really good affinity matchup though. We maybe don't even need to be playing the Ras in the sideboard. I just to kill my guide and just the guide. So we have 11 points of power in play right now. Make that 13 points of power. Oh, just renting the other deck. Although, yeah, we already. Oh, two. We just lost to Boris twice. Not a great matchup. I think 2 of our game losses were also to mana stumbling, which is a big concern I was having, and I don't know if that means we just want to be playing Izzet, because if you could play Izzet with no fields, which might just be the move after all. Yeah, I think our deck's tough matchups are combo, so we have a bunch of Ashioks and Damping Spheres. We could be maybe just playing more. The thing is, there's just like not that much combo in the format besides Titan, so that's good news for this deck. And we're soft to Titan. That is what we lost to with the deck so far. A Johnny Bombardment concede. Wait, hold on. Did they concede? They did concede. A Johnny Bombardment concedes. Awesome. If not too often you see that against the Aether Vial deck. But this is ours. You can play Izzet if you add Vivi. Talk about allies? Is Vivi an ally? Alright, I'm gonna bring in the Purge. I'm gonna bring in the endings, I think. And then it does seem to be to some extent that the guide divides are just kind of bad in these removal heavy matchups to some extent. Maybe I want to keep some number in. I could see Free Blades also being the card to cut. Like it's just not. It's kind of good to block Ocelot Pride and have a blocker for Ragavan turn 1 though. Although we have Purges. I guess Purges. Let's try like 1 Free Blade, 3 Divide, something like this. The deck might want Orm's Chant for control and combo matchups. Probably for Wrath and Sanctifier. I guess I don't really buy it being our plan against control so much. I mean, it's and like when you say combo too, I don't love the idea of we're gonna just playing against combo. Like, what does combo mean? Like, it's good against Storm. Like, Orm's Chant is a card that's good against specifically Storm, but there are better options against specifically Storm. And I don't think it seems to be like a particularly good option against Titan. It's like not terrible against Titan. This deck doesn't really draw like so many cards either. Like typically it's better. That's a better option in a version of one of these decks that does draw a ton of cards. Dude, my opponent does not know how to mulligan, which I'm not complaining about. Yeah, and I think I guess we want to go end of turn reinforcements into. I guess we only have 3 mana if we go. Okay, so never mind. We'll play the Great Guide Divide Guide. Chant is good against Soul Trader. Is it? I mean, it just like these like you can't combo for 1 turn cards. I don't really see that being the plan for this deck. I would rather be playing lock pieces that's like we have Sanctifier en-Vec. What card is good against Soul Trader? Sanctifier en-Vec or Orm's Chant, you know? Like what's good against Storm? Orm's Chant or Deafening Silence? What's good against Titan? Ashiok, Damping Sphere or Orm's Chant? You know, it's like these are the cards I would rather be playing. I think Tiga's a good include. Tiga's awful, right? It stops all of my return cards. Tiga's like unplayable in this deck. Right, gain 4, draw a card. All right, so they can start jumping. We got a lot of mana. I'm going to go ahead and surveil before we draw a card off of our Voyager. Not super likely to rally the ancestors if we hit a single ally here, but we didn't even hit an ally. So gain a lot of life for the draw card. I mean, invasion reinforcements has like somehow been much stronger than I expected it to be. I mean, I thought it would be like playable in this deck, but it's been like extra playable. Don't know exactly what I mean by that, I guess. Could even like attack and just try to get a double block as the rally. If it was return, we might do that. I think with just rally. Let's chill. At a cool 30 life, big mana advantage, board advantage. They find their second land on turn 5. Now we just need some cards. Well, we also could just have our opponent kill our stuff. That would be not too bad. This is where Collected Company would be a good top deck. I agree. We have 4 mana in play. I think that Collected Company just doesn't make sense when we have Rally and Return to the Ranks. Those cards just seem a lot better. The best top deck is Excavator. Excavator is like the winning top deck card. What I would love to see is more ways to get Excavator in play. I don't think Collected Company is the way to do that. Maybe it is somehow. I know it's capping. I see. Okay, they kill the Great Guide Divide. And they pass the turn. All right. I don't know if there's any... I don't think there's really anything I could surveil into that I would rally right now. Let's just pass. Only played 19 lands in the deck. I love that the deck costs $280 and the lands cost $237. The rest is like 43. Breakout? Breakout's kind of interesting. The haste is maybe a little bit interesting with Great Divide Guide. Not super big deal. Chord possible. I don't like to play Chord without like green creatures usually. Yeah, Birthing Ritual could be good too. I could see Birthing Ritual being good. I like that. Like putting stuff in the yard is a big deal, of course. $19 lands in this deck, by the way. I guess we attack with the Warrior now. Or the Voyager. I keep calling this a Warrior for some reason. A Scout. I guess we could attack with both. Possibly could have saved this to trigger the Voyager again. I think it's okay to just get in for some damage. We will definitely be fetching to thin our library. Is something giving haste or is Rally just for block CTB? Rally just wins the game if you have the like you combo mill your opponent out with Excavator is the main plan, but then it also just gives you a ton of value. Sometimes the Voyager and the life gain. Unfortunately, we lost 0-2 to Boros with Dimir. Now we're playing against Boros again. You know, Modern has like this cyclical nature with it, like the last year. It's like when Boros is not the most popular deck, things just feel really fun and fresh a lot of times. And when Boros is the most played deck in the format and it's the most popular deck, things just feel like they get so stagnant sometimes. Has Humans been my radar? Anything that makes me think of it? Well, we had a whole Humans arc with Relic of Legends like a couple months ago. All right, I think we're just chilling. They're -2 Thraben Charms, so I don't feel like we need to play around that card too hard. I'd rather play against Boros or Titan. Usually Boros, usually, yeah. I'd rather the format get fresher, though, you know. It's been a very cyclical format for a while. It is what it is. Avatars definitely helped with some of the freshness, of course. What? You're not attacking with the Guide of Souls? I'm not going to put Redwalker in the deck. It's okay to have a consistently decent aggro mid-range deck. Yeah. Sure. I don't know. Like I tend to think that when a deck is this popular and prominent in a format for this long, I just get kind of bored personally. That's not everybody has to have that opinion. That's just me. So this is going to be 5 damage. They're targeting the Voyager, so I guess we'll go ahead and Vial in the Cleric. Probably the same thing, even if it just rotates 3 or 4 cards. I wouldn't say that's the true. Prowess is like, and when Steel Cutter got printed, it became like a viable modern deck. It hasn't been like as long in this cycle. Yeah, I'm just saying I'm bored playing against Boros as much as we play against it. I'm not really trying to cause a whole conversation. All right, seems like we need to rally, even though this is a big life gain spell that draws 1 card. Not a return to the ranks this time. We gain a ton of life. We don't have enough 1-mana allies for Pyre of Heroes. I do like that card though. Could have stuck these a little bit better with the reinforcements coming down. Yeah, there's an ally that gives itself haste. Could maybe be in the build. So they're thinking about sacking some stuff to make me gain less life here, of course. Yeah, Birthing Ritual would be a lot better than Pyre of Heroes, of course. I can see Birthing Ritual being a good pick. They're going after the South Pole Voyager. They sack a Guide of Souls to kill it, even. I still get to draw the card. I don't think they realize that. Yeah, I don't know if I'm brave enough to play allies in paper. Need my TI. What is it, 85? Wait, they really sacked... Okay, I get to kill the Ajani now. Yeah, we're hitting them with the new deck confusion here. Oh, we also get to keep this token, too. Alright, so we're at 101. We drew another land. We were playing 17 lands, also 4 vials in the deck. Thankfully, they even put these cards back in the graveyard for me, which was so nice of them. Okay, we're at a cool 101. These guys get exiled on my upkeep, though. Arjun was 83. Yeah, that's right. It's been obviously a while. Is this Wrath Disguise? Wrath Disguise would be actively help me by putting this stuff in the graveyard, and it would also kill their bombardment. My opponent keeps hurting themselves in their confusion. Maybe try, I actually had a Canopy as 1 extra land, and I cut it. But yeah, Canopy could be good because we gain so much life. Alright, this is the last fetchable. In our deck, we still have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 lands left in our deck. Last turn... Oh, wait 3 lands. Last turn, we had... Three lands with the cavern. We had 4 lands left in our deck last turn. Or 5, I guess, and we drew 1. I'm going to hold this because of South Pole Voyager, probably. Just chill. Cool, 94 life, but it's got 2 cards in their hand. One of them was an Arena of Glory. Now we're down to 88 life. Just stay ahead on clock with 101. I think that won't be too tough. They do have a Flage to keep chunking me. We drew another land. We have no fetchables left. When we drew this Flooded Strand, we had 3 lands left in our deck. Although I think we also had like 3 vials. Any reason not to play Collected Company? There sure are a lot of people suggesting Collected Company, not a lot of people telling me what they'd play. I think Birthing Ritual would almost certainly be better than Collected Company. It's 2 mana, you know. You don't care about sacking. You even like sacking your stuff. Collected Company is hard to cast early, you know, unless you've got the one guy. Right, well, we can respond to this trigger and gain a total of 9 life. Might even have been wrong to do this, though. Might have been better to wait still. Again, not fetching to thin because we have no lands left in the deck. If you have a deck like this that can gain hundreds life, is acceptable to have an opponent using some Splinter Twin-like combo to go through the whole motion. I wouldn't. You can do whatever you want. I think most people in your situation would. Oh, my mouse died. Too many clicks. Let's draw. We have 2 lands left in the deck or 1? I want to draw it. Okay, we finally found an Excavator. Excavator is really, really good if it dies. I'm a little bit nervous to mill myself, because what if we mill 3 resurrection spells? We milled 1 resurrection spell and another Excavator. Don't think we need this for return to the ranks. I'm secure enough to not self-mill. I don't know if it's like a security question there. I think they just write to self-mill. Alright, I'll hold this for return. I think we have 5 mill return spells left. Maybe it's 4. Yeah, we have 5 left in the deck, so any day now. Ragavan will hit one for sure. We are also up a game at the moment, despite my opponent only having 9 minutes on the clock. We're taking 17 damage total this turn. Down to 47. Ragavan, of course, flipped return to the ranks. And they can return to the ranks of Johnny if they like. Still at 47. All right, I cast South Pole Voyager. Their one mystery card could pretty easily be a removal spell. This could draw us a land. Or sorry, not a land. Not a land. It could draw us a land, I guess. But hopefully it draws us one of our 4 remaining win the game buttons. Right now, return to the ranks would be X equals 4. I don't know if that's enough. I guess I'll play this. Gain some more life. 4 more life. Back up to 54. Opponent maybe should be flipping their Johnny here. Do you think Profane Tutor is viable with Vexing Bulb in the meta? I'm working on a fleet build with it. You can play Profane Tutor in your modern deck, yeah, despite there being a lot of good cards against it still. Is it better to hold out for trying another card next turn? Well, the thing is they're going to kill the South Pole Voyager this turn, so I think at this point, I would rather just have the extra life points. This game is so tense for a match rep game. Oh, I'm not feeling very tense. I'm doing something you can almost never do in Modern, which is just relax while you have a ton of life points, and you're just really likely to draw your return spell before they kill you. It might not happen, but we have like at least 2 more draws, and we have 4 more in the deck. You know, I'm kind of feeling good. And then if we lose, we go to game 3. But it's got 7 minutes on the clock also. They could have Thraben Charm maybe. I'm chilling. I think we're at the moment. I feel very likely to win this match, despite getting like really flooded. They do flip the Ajani this time. Yeah, we've been hit by Flage like 8 times, yeah, or something like that. Hopefully they haven't been sandbagging a Thraben Charm. More Stalin here. Ever played a copy of Assemble the Players? No, I don't know what that card is, I guess. Opponent's like just gonna time out also. Look at the top card. Oh, I have played that card. Top card of your library in time. What's a turn? Cast a creature spell power 2 or less from the top. Pretty good. Probably just play Birthing Ritual instead. I'm pretty interested in running this deck back with some Birthing Rituals. I'm not sure exactly what we cut. Maybe Great Divide Guide. I have liked the card though. Are we dead next turn? Might be dead next turn. We have had so many. We've had so many opportunities to draw. Yeah, we are dead now. To draw one of the return cards, and then the one and Ragavan exiled one of them, of course. The one time Ragavan hit us. So we're gonna go to game 3. I'm gonna be on the play. Yeah, right now it seems pretty tough to cut any of the cards. Maybe you could cut some of the Earth Kingdom protectors, but also those are in theory good with the Birthing Rituals to just go 1-drop with a 2-drop. I do think Birthing Ritual does seem really good. A mulligan, I guess. This hand looks better. Probably just gonna put back the second Aether Vial. No, Aether Vial's just insane in this deck. It's just like a non. For me, it's like I would never ever consider cutting it. But yeah, it's like not even a conversation to me. I know there are some dedicated Aether Vial haters though. Probably will just surveil this turn. They didn't keep another one-lander, did they? No, they did not. I was watching Tonga Modern. Hasn't been doing that much, honestly. Much worse than I thought it would. Yeah, cut 4 lands. We might be able to go down to 18. We're at 19 right now, right? No, 17. We're at 17. Okay, probably can't. We'll do a double count of the lands. I can't remember. I need some help this game. That could be help. Oh, I guess I should have vialed another cleric in response to the cleric trigger. 19. Okay. Yeah, I could see going down a land. I'm gonna put Wang Shitong in the Ketchermos category. I don't know. I feel like to me it seems like we're gonna find a home for Wang Shitong still. I don't know exactly what that home's gonna be, but to me it's a card that I still think has a lot of potential. Maybe it's one of these like all potential, no actual, not actually that good in practice kind of card. It might be a card that becomes good later. But I think there's still like a nice delicate balance to be found. Is it possible it could be good in certain metagames rather than build around? I mean, maybe. I think that typically when a new creature gets printed too, people put a lot of weight on this like a new 2-mana creature to just like solo your games for you, but one like mostly is just kind of a normal 2-mana creature that comes down, gets value, and trades for removal most of the time. We've done a really bad job of like ever drawing Excavator, I guess. Have to keep the return to the ranks. I go -1 land, -1 vial. Don't stop trying to cut vial, y'all. This is so silly. I can see Earth Kingdom Lieutenant being the cut though. It's not exactly doing what our deck is about. That could maybe I think we might want to do some more than that, but Earth Kingdom Lieutenant could be like the weak link. It's nice to have like a good plan B beatdown. You know, we have won some beatdown games. So if we block, we can return. Yeah, we're gonna want to block with one of the clerics, I guess. Assuming that they attack with a ground creature. I guess they probably won't since it's all 2/2s. Is there an ally tutor? I don't think there's any playable ones. Maybe I missed something. Legion Crab. Yeah, you could play Crab also. I think I'm more interested in Birthing Ritual than Crab. We're down to 20. Hopefully we draw an Excavator off the top here is probably a win. I feel like we've been saying that all day. So just having more Birthing Ritual seems really, really nice, potentially. I don't think they have 20. They can't escape a Flage next turn. I guess let's just cast this main phase. Gain 12? Hasty Flage. I did consider Aang. It's just not a 2-drop. It's not playing the exact kind of game we want to play. I did think about Aang. I thought about sideboarding it also, but I didn't feel like sideboarding it made much sense at all, honestly. I do think that we could mostly cut Earth Kingdom Lieutenant for Birthing Ritual. That seems, at the moment, that seems pretty fine. Although it's possible we could cut, maybe Freeblade is worse than Lieutenant. Maybe like Lieutenant kind of is the card that gives us the beatdown plan. I don't know if Freeblade does so as much, but having 1-drops is nice. It's possible that the Earthbend Protector card, that's a better one. We're not dead, right? We have 32 life. This is... should it be 32? We want our creatures in play, obviously, for the return to the ranks. Also should add 4 canopies. I could see canopy good. I don't know about 4. But I could see canopy being right. I think we're pretty dead this game. Yeah, let's go ahead and drop and make some changes. I think the deck is looking certainly a lot better than we expected it to, despite this match being like long and boring.